What is going on, everyone? It's Maximus Trades back with another video. Today I'll be going my trade recap today. So I took two trades on the Asia session today. I took a short, which I got I got killed on the short, but I took a nice continuation long, and I'll be going over and breaking down exactly what I did and the steps I took to take both of these trades. So going to the day, first off, we had a really big up move the previous day. The previous night, it was right after I traded right over here. You can see we had a good up move. And sorry, right over here, we had a good up move over here, and I was really looking for shorts because we had this unfilled 4-hour gap down here, and this smaller unfilled gap down here, which I'll just kind of like circle really quick. So you see this unfilled gap over here that I was targeting, and that seemed like a really strong bearish confluence for me. And over the 1 hour, we had kind of saw the same thing. This is actually probably after I traded. Yeah, no, yes, after I traded. So we still had this 1 hour gap down here, but the main thing that was making me go bearish for the day was this unfilled 4-hour gap. So I hop on the 5 minute, and I'm just checking things out. It seemed like we had a good rise during New York session. It was pretty choppy, a little bit chop over here, but we did end up having a good rise on New York session that backed with there was some Japanese news data, plus what's going on with Trump and Iran and the whole oil situation. There's a ceasefire apparently now, so I think that motivated a lot of bullish momentum. So in hindsight, I mean, technically, I thought it was really strong bearish because we had that like really big gap that was there. But now I'm thinking more about it. I think that it was more something like more macro. The bias today should have been more macro. I should involve more macro in it, being like bullish with the news and stuff. So that's why I kind of ended up taking this short. So if we go on the 1 minute, so basically what happened here was it was right around like a little bit after market open. It was really choppy market open right here. So it's really choppy. So basically we had a 1 minute SMT. So you see these equal highs at Nasdaq. We went up and took them out here with these two wicks. That's liquidity sweep and plus an SMT, right? And if you look at the S&P at the exact same time over here, I'll circle them as well. We have these highs are not closing above these highs, right? But on Nasdaq, we had these highs over here closing above these highs down here, right? So that ultimately gave me we had a bullet bearish SMT. We had that gap. We were like not targeting, but we were in that range. And then what ultimately gave it away was we had this 1 minute FVG right here. So we came up. I'll make the thing real quick. So we had this 1 minute bearish FVG form off our SMT and liquidity sweep. I wasn't really caring more about I was caring more about the SMT than liquidity sweep. So see, we went up 1 minute candle, literally pulled right into that 1 minute gap, did not inverse it, and the next candle after that was bearish. So I literally entered like right here. I would say, oh shoot, like right here actually. So literally right after we entered, we got fully shafted, fully up. This is the first time I've been cooked on a trade in like 2-3 weeks. So pretty unfortunate. We lost $22 on the paper trading account here. So yeah, that's pretty much the first trade. We were kind of had that high time frame bias of bearishness, which is pushing us down. But really, we should have been bullish because of that macro incentive. But it's okay, whatever, we made a mistake. We did have the good small time frame confluences with that 1 minute SMT. It could be seen as a 5 minute SMT as well as the 1 minute SMT, 1 minute liquidity sweep, and 1 minute confirmation of a fair value gap. So I'm not too mad about that trade at all. We didn't even lose that much. So I'll get rid of. So now let's talk about my next trade, which I won. It was like a 1 to 2.5, 1 to 2.6 long until continuation. So basically, my thinking was. So I was initially short for the day, but then after taking this short, I'm like, why did this go wrong? I was like, I'm thinking about it. Okay, because it's macro news bullish. So the fact that, we came up here and we took out these highs and we came back down and we once again took out these 1 minute lows over here, right? As you can see, we fully took out this 1 minute low down here, which I marked out over here. I'll circle this one as well. So we came down, took out this 1 minute low, right? Right here we took out the low, right? But on the S&P, where was it? Yeah, wait, it was this one right here. We did not take away. I'm just gonna make sure. Is it this low over here? I'm looking at. Just make sure So here's 1 minute SMT. Yeah, okay, it was the other way around. So on NASDAQ, we did not close below these lows, as you can see. Let me just get rid of this. Wait. So we did not close below these lows. Let me get rid of this alert as well. On this shit real quick. Wait. Yeah, we did not close below these lows on the NASDAQ over here. But on the S&P, we fully closed below these lows. We fully closed below these lows, and we did not do that on the NASDAQ, right? So that was my 1 minute SMT. And the fact, so basically it's kind of hard to explain. If you look at the high time frames, we didn't really have anything like, we didn't have anything, at this point we didn't have anything that I thought would make us go lower, and at the same time we didn't have anything that would make us go higher, except for that macro news. This 4 hour gap was here, but after seeing two things happening, I switched my bias along. So basically, the first thing was we pumped up, right? The first move after consolidation of market open was a pump up, right? And that just kind of gave me the incentive that, like, you know, we're gonna keep going up. And right after here, as you can see, we didn't fully see over those NASDAQ. And the second thing that kind of was like motivated me to go long after this 1 minute SMT was the fact that we came up, took out these highs, and then we had the short move back down. So the way the market moves, you have to understand, is hunting for liquidity, and especially Asia. Normally, if I'm talking about New York, it would be on the higher time frames, or even London on the higher time frames. But Asia is very volatile in a sense where you have to trade on the lower time frames to get good price action. I'm not saying good, not necessarily good price action, but you have to trade on the lower time frames to get the equivalency of what to trade. Like if you think about it, I'm basically comparing the two. So New York, you're trading on like 5 minute. Normally, most people trade on the 5 minute and they enter on the 1 minute, but Asia's like really just fully 1 minute and 5 minute. Like you have your high time frames just to get your bias. At least that's for me. Like I use my, and it's profit. It works for me. So I use my high time frames to only to get my bias and stuff. And it's really just clinical. You have to be precise on the one lower time frames, the 1 minute time frames, right? So again, I was saying before, not like now I kind of got that clear. Is like when I'm talking about liquidity concepts. If you hear me talk about like, oh, the market's always moving to liquidity, and I'm talking about New York, you'll probably see me talking about the higher time frames. This is basically what I want to say. So, when I'm talking about liquidity hunting, it's normally on the higher time frames. Since I'm trading Asia, and Asia is a different market, it's more volatile, and there's different types of price action happening. When I talk about liquidity hunting, I'm normally talking about the smaller time frames, so the 1 minute. So we had liquidity pool up here that price wanted to take out. We swept out. We basically swept out these kind of miniature lows, and we went up and took out this liquidity pool. And then after this liquidity pool, we went down and we retracted these. This is so much liquidity. These equal lows, and we swept out those lows and made SMT, which made me want to go up. So again, that didn't make me enter right off. You can see I entered pretty late, and you might be wondering why. So I didn't enter right off. It was just a 1 minute liquidity sweep and a 1 minute SMT. Because, you know, we had a high time frame. I was still kind of like bearish in the high time frames, right? And there was macro news, but there's no way I'm going to enter off just off 1 minute confluences, right? So I go to the 5 minute. I see you make this 5 minute for value gap here. And then we come down in the 1 minute right here. And on that 5 minute for value gap that we just formed, we come down and retest it, which is also a 1 minute for value gap here. So let me just break this down. So we have this 1 minute for value gap here, which is like our 5 minute gap is essentially, I think it's around here, if I remember correctly, yeah, right around there. And we have this 1 minute gap within that 5 minute gap, right? So first of all, that 5 minute gap is really strong for us. We come down, respect it over here, and we draw on over here to this 1 minute gap and respect it, and we have positive displacement off, and that's enough for me. So we had the 1 minute SMT, 1 minute liquidity sweep, we had the 1 minute fair value gap respecting, and we had the 5 minute fair value gap respecting. And in terms of the high time for confluence, nothing really stopping us from going down. There's no fair value gaps or any order blocks in the 1 hour or 4 hour from stopping us, and we had that macro news backing us. So all I did essentially was just target this order block over here, which I did think price was very volatile, and it was like, you know, I couldn't really predict it properly. So I knew price was going to come to at least an order block here, over here, this 1 minute order block. So I went ahead and targeted that. And I could have targeted more, but we had a good stop loss below the consequent encroachment of this value gap, just a 50% line of this value gap, and we had a good stop loss there. So I just figured we already had 2.5 to 1 ratio, so like might as well just take what we can get and, you know, ensure that we kind of make up for the loss here, which I guess is not the right mentality to have, but it was a good trade, good overall trade. and it was good that I was able to, I feel like reflecting on this day, it was good that I was able to stretch my bias. I wasn't married to my short bias, and I was able to understand what the market was giving me, and I was able to understand why the market wanted to change why it was changing directions, and why I was wrong with my bias at the beginning, and it was good. It was good that I was able to adjust and adapt to what the market was giving me, because at the end of the day, uh, I have to. I basically what day trading is interpreting with the market, interpreting the charts, and interpret. You have to predict where the market wants to go. So the fact that I was able to change, like I was able to adapt to what the charts were doing, which was unexpected to me, shows like I feel like I got that good understanding down, and I'm promised you like 6 months ago, 3 months ago, maybe even 3 months ago, I couldn't do this. Like there would be times where I'd just be married to my bias, which today was not the case. So it's a good day, good learning experience. We took a loss, took a win, and you're able to extract lots of information off that. On the live account, on the paper trading account, we're up 43 the last, I think it's 2 weeks, and the equity's at 1091. So hopefully we can hit 1100. I'm probably gonna try to hit like 1300 next week, or like 1350 maybe. But yeah, so we're basically at 1100 right now. So just hopefully make 150 to $200 profit next week is my goal. We only traded 2 days this week, by the way. 2 trading days this week, and we made 200-ish bucks. Made made 30 today, and like I don't know. We made like 30 today, and like it's like 170, 160-ish the other day. So yeah, not that bad. Good trading. There'll be no holidays next week, so I can trade more consistently. And I'm trying to get these videos out every day if I trade on Asia, just to get a good trade recap in. And like the fact that I'm able to get on, like explain my trade helps not only like I guess you guys to learn, but helps me learn. Like I just realized, I should have not really had that short bias in the beginning because of that macro news. So I think I have to start paying more attention to like what's happening on Forest Factory, what's happening in the markets, what's happening in Asia markets. I frankly couldn't tell you like at all what's happening in Asia right now. So and that's what I'm trading this session. I'm trading, so I feel like I have to understand more about that. But apart from that, good day, one win, one loss, still profitable. Profitable this week, profitable last week, profitable the week before that. Been about a month of profitability. We had this account for a month and a half, and we 100%ed it. So overall, good day, and that's pretty much it. So Max Trades out.